Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 80 entitled Practical Awakening. Well, this is the chapter 10 in a certain extent, for which we finish, even if it's endless, a kind of loop, a kind of cycle, but beyond the cycle there is a kind of amplification, a spiral according to our state of mind and our consciousness, field of consciousness. Well, today we're gonna talk about transcendence. So concretely, what is transcendence is the fact, because it's the fact to obtain a result which is exceed the comprehension, and also which exceed the normal, the natural results. Okay, so it is, and of course without any question of a quest of efficiency, quest necessarily a bulimia of performance, of course not. It's to transmute, let's say, ordinary into extraordinary. Alright, so in kind of metaphor, and we will see down to earth, some practical example, as practice makes perfect. This is transmuting darkness into light, light with a capital letter, the real energy of purity. Well, because fighting against darkness is like screaming or shouting to obtain the silence is a nonsense, is exactly the same phenomenon. Because in our sphere of consciousness, everything exists already. It means that you are at the center of your own universe. All the people, all the events are recreating within, and the goal is absolutely not to affect them, to change the outer world, but to consider it as inside, and the outer world has to be transmuted inwardly. This is really important to understand it and then to understand it. Okay, there is no thing to convince, to conquest, and so on. This is only your inner battle. So the goal is really to unload, to denerve, to discharge the negativity, the low frequencies, the low vibration, to transmute them into higher energies. Okay, so it is just to accept a situation for understanding and understanding also the true I am, and how sometimes by the counter examples that you say, the fact to encounter the I am not. Okay, I'm faithful, I'm honest because I met a thief, for example. Well, Neville Goddard said the following: change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Don't try to change people, they are only messengers who tell you who you are. Revalue yourself and they will confirm the change. Okay, so this is the principle of the mirror game. I talk in many other videos. Basically two things. It is the universe wants to show you, let's say, what it is unbalanced, what is not sold within you, why you overreact, and so on. It's like if you do a caress to someone who is burned, you will overreact. Okay, despite the fact it's supposed to be gentle. So it is just for seeing you, for you to perceive where are you towards, if you are peaceful, if you are in the unity towards this event, this situation, this person, this remark, and so on. So concretely, it is to highlight your own unity, your own enlightenment. Okay, so in the course in Miracle, there are fear and love as, let's say, two pillars, the duality, two pillars of the energies. Okay, fear is the separation, the segmentation, the low vibration, and on the other way around, love is unity, this is purity, this is, let's say, the highest frequency. So each time as a practice, try to visualize, to see a scenario, a situation. I am the unity, or I am against, I am in the separation, in the conflict, low vibration, every time. And try to adjust, to have some corrective action according to that. Okay, it will preserve you, it will, and this is notion of acceptance, doesn't mean that you accept everything as, okay, I have my opinion and so on. It's not this at all. It is just to accept For example, the fact that someone has a different perspective, perception, has this argument, you try your best to give everything, like in non-violent communication, you explain your perception, what you would like, and then the person do so, and you conciliate, okay? You try to find, let's say, a free zone in certain extent, in just to be on the same page. But if not, it's fine, okay? So, everything is initiatory in the notion of transcendence. Everything, every single thing, every single event is initiatory. I insist, it means that there is always a teaching beyond. Okay? You know, we say that an awakened person, I mean, when a drunkard penetrates into a tavern, it remains a tavern, a cafe, a bar, and when awakened person, illuminated person penetrates into a tavern, bar, it becomes a temple. Why? Because he opened up his eyes and his heart and his consciousness, and thereby everything, all what he see, perceive, and so on, he feel, is transcendent. Okay? It is transcendented. Okay? The beauty is in the eyes of those who can see it, is exactly that. Well, as a practice, I invite you to do like a sort of enigma. You imagine that there is a game of enigma, like the kids, Indiana Jones and so on. They have to find a treasure. Is this, and the creator with a capital letter, the source, God, whatever the name or no name, has hidden some elements, and you have to decipher, you have to decode all this information. And it will activate within you this notion of transcendence in the fact that you are more sensitive, receptive to the signs of life, like synchronicity and so on. Because life is a gigantic, great book of life. It is, you are the reader and the co-writer as well. Well, more down to earth, we can say that it will be a little bit our structure. Down to earth, we saw for the proof in quote mark of transcendence is the power of the mind, power of the thoughts. Thoughts are energy. Actually, everything is energy. Einstein say what you call energy is only vibration which has been reduced to be perceptible to your senses. A stone, a table, a plant, a tree, a human being is made of energy, basically. That's why we saw also the notion, the impact of the cells. And that's why also the secrets, the mystery of life in general is hidden already into energy. That's why Tesla say, if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequencies. For him, you can basically sum up and summarize only with that. Okay? In addition of that, the thought is impacting because this is energy as well. This is linked to the notion of Einstein. He say also, the great scientist, he say, match the frequency of the reality that you want. You cannot stop getting it. It is not this is not philosophy, this is science. Match the frequency of the reality you want, you cannot stop getting it. It means that according to you, your mind, you will attract it. This is law of attraction, concretely. This is the notion of somatic, okay? Placebo, I'm healing myself because I'm positive mind. And nocebo, I destroy my body according to my my bad mood, for example. There is the notion of epigenetics, quest of meaning as well, neuroplasticity. These are all things I already talked before in the previous videos. Law of attraction, intuition, creativity, that we're gonna see today in the next videos, and project management, okay, to really to make real, to make your dreams come true. Turn your life into a dream and this dream into reality. That's the goal. And at the end, ultimate whole objective in quote mark would be or is to activate your divinity within you. Okay, not to be separated from God, the source, the universe, and so on. So transcendence, concretely, it is surpassing yourself or oneself with a notion, including the notion of crossing the threshold. From there, it stands for an emancipation okay, for which you are beyond your previous state of consciousness, state of mind, mindsets, and to access to expansion of consciousness, okay, and skills and so on. An example, Kennedy in 61, he said before the end of the decade, a man will go to the moon and will come back. All the scientists in NASA, they say he is completely crazy. And at the end, what's happened? Transcendence. They find an energy somewhere, but they find it. Thanks to the motivation. You know, there is a sentence saying, they did it because they didn't know it was impossible. It's the same principle. There is another one, you can check on internet. There is apparently a real, it's not fake news, a real story. A woman, the kid was under a car. A car usually is 1 ton, 1,000 kilos. And she was able and capable to lift, to release the kid. And she saved the kid like this. The world champion of halterophilia, okay, is afford to lift only 250 kilos. How come it's possible? It's not natural. How she did? It's a transcendence. There is a natural force pushing you because you're not in the mind. It is possible or not. It has to be. It is the reactivity, spontaneity. This is due to the fact she emptied her mind and she made it possible. Okay, it's the same principle with Shaolin monks. When you see them, they're able to break a brick. Is this possible? Try to do it now. You will break, not the brick. You will break your hand. So how come it's possible? Because at this moment of impact, they really empty the mind, and they, at the same moment, they visualize they are doing it. They are penetrating and breaking the matter, and they separate this energy, okay? Well, just to show you as an example. This is important first step to believe deeply into the magic, your inner magic. Outside, inside, inwardly, outwardly. But both are combined and both are interconnected. Try to feel this, and this is your inner transcendence, but it is also supported by surpassing force, like a support from God, from the source, and so on. The prerequisite for succeeding in this is the state of mind and the discipline, okay, to raise your vibration of unity, to reconnect deeply, internally, okay, inwardly, and then to activate your inner child, okay, innocence, the marvel of life, and so on. Then your high vibration of heart and unity, and then by to welcome the presence with a capital letter, okay, refer to the key 86. Well, this is a concept of what I baptize child-adult presage. Concretely, it is a triptych: child, adult, and sage, old person. Child, it is inner child. Concretely, it is the innocence, the candor, the simple happiness. This is also the creativity, intuition, and limitless. Adult is the structure, the rigorness, the organization, strategy, and so on. Okay, the roles. And the sage, and pre-sage, like a presage, okay, like a subtle message. Nobody say I'm wise, otherwise it wouldn't be. It would be a lack of modesty, of course. So, but the presage in progress, let's say, the sage, the wisdom embodied, would be a detachment, an experience of life, and a certain, let's say, detachments to this game of egos. Okay, so the goal is really to encompass, and that's why I recommend as a practice to visualize where you are in each situation with this triptych. Okay, this triptych, in general, I'm one third, and or I'm just fully, let's say, inner child, maybe, but is important to have a good balance, of course. If you are completely adult and there is no creativity and so on, there is most of the time very let's say, dull life, because it's black and white. It's like, okay, we work just to get money, to eat and to sleep and so on. It's basic, even if we can take pleasure through that, but usually it's limited, and there is not the magic of life, the fact to marvel at life, nature and so on. Well, anyway, just to visualize personally where you are. You know, in this notion of transcendence is, we say that human beings is using roughly between 5 and 10% of his capacities. So it is the room of 90-95% of the capacities. This is also what we call junk DNA, okay, for which apparently the same proportion, the same part, we just use 5%, and the rest is useless, which is absolutely impossible. It's like in the reality, we have 4% of matter, physical matter, dark matter is 27%, and the rest, 67, if I calculate well, it is the dark energy. It means what we see is just a very small spectrum, but the rest is not useless. It is full of information. So, let's say, you know, the prophets and like enlightened translation in Sanskrit is Buddha. Buddha means the enlightened. Okay, Christ dimension means the crystal he purifies heart and consciousness to access to that. These are, let's say, activating the notion of divinity or unity, but they are just simple human beings who transcend their reality. Okay, so we will see that in the last video, of course, to transmute the ordinary into extraordinary. Well, this is expanding your sphere of consciousness, and actually the first one, how to do so, is, for example, let's say visualization and law of attraction theory, but into practice, and let's say the power of the mind. Okay, so if you really want to see, I described it precisely in the key 36 if you're interested in. So Buddha said, what you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. Concretely, and to make it short, really short, it is in 3 times. First, you visualize. Second, with your mind. Second, with your heart, you feel, you feeling the realization, and at the end you already thanks in advance is already there. This is basic secret of the law of attraction. Well, creativity, what is it concretely? The creativity and intuition, thereby same. I have, this is really complex because I have a course, if you are interested, Udemy. It's online, it's 15 hours. Okay, for which I give 120 techniques and tips, exercise to stimulate your intuition and creativity. Okay, so I give you just some examples, but it's much more deeper than this. But why is so important? Everything in your personal life, in your couple, in your friendship, to educate your kids, personal life, but also in professional life, whatever the background, whatever the job, creativity is essential. Okay, so concretely what is it? Is to discover new things first. This is also finding some solution. Yeah, I'm creative too, for conflict management, for problem solving, for example. Okay, so it is to innovate basically. There is 2 times. Either you download from scratch, quote mark, download from the ideas word, and or you do assembling. Like the DJ. The DJ take a beat like and then symphony, music beyond, and he mix both, and then another one, and so on. He creates something new, but it's not from scratch. It's by assembling. Like when you create cuisine, cooking with fusion and so on. So why is so important to innovate, to improve your life, personal life, and the life in general, the institution, the new, in this I explained that we need to be creative for politics, for justice, for education, for medicine, for science, for everything actually. There is no background which doesn't require it. Okay, so what could be the techniques? Activate the inner child, for which you refer to the key 28, sorry. You have even a guide meditation to heal it, to heal your inner child, and also to activate, to stimulate. Then the goal is the let it go, to empty your mind, and then to be penetrated by an information, a flash. Okay, this is like can be a word, can be an image, can be a sound, can be a feeling, whatever. Okay, usually it's like intuition is through a flash. Poof. Doesn't send you an email or a fax or whatever. It is a flash. Because it's timeless. When you have this inspiration, you empty your mind, you are outside the time space, the linearity of time. You can do some brainstorming, you can do mind mapping. Mind mapping, I explained that is to structure your mind. For example, you put different ideas on the ground, and then you do some subsets and so on. Holisticking, this is one of my this is the funnel method. You start with one word and you amplify, and then one sentence, one paragraph, one page, okay? And you can do on the other way around as well. It allows you to do like accordion, and this is to structure, to summarize, and to amplify your mind, okay? Do artistic activity that you dream to do so, without any notion of performance, but it will activate something new inside, like, I don't know, a passion that you did when you were young and you don't do anymore, painting, dancing, whatever. Personally, I started a few years ago now surfing here. I am good or not, I don't know. I just enjoy it, that's it. Okay, so I do drums as well. I'm good, and I don't know, but I just enjoy it. That's it. But it's activating something unconsciously, stimulating already this this creativity. You can mime an animal, a politics, an artist, a comedian, and so on. It's like, once again, to activate this creativity. Do some story game, for which you start with some words and you do an improvisation. Theater, it's participating as well. Theater of improvisation. You have a theme and you have a dialogue that you have to create instantly. This is really super hard, but it's create something actually. You can also mix film, scenario, some books, some stories in general, and so on, because this really show you what creativity is and the creator. You have some characters, you have the story, you have a flow of the evolution of the story, and so on. You can also make what I call a lucky draw like a drawing, okay, like a mandala, like a flower of life, because it's activating something unconsciously, okay. Create the dream job, for example. When I was young, I was saying I will be in the future ideor, okay, a guy who has some ideas and it would be my life, okay. It's what I'm doing now, actually. Well, some advice, as Einstein say, creativity is intelligence having fun, okay. It's a state of mind. It should be a passion. It should be something with pleasure. Okay, okay. By extension, what is intuition? Okay, it's really linked. Intuit means concretely gazing inwardly. Okay, so getting back to the center, like meditation. Concretely, this is the inner voice. Okay, it's not your ego. It's your inner voice telling you things, but it's only when you empty your mind. It's not your mind, okay? It's your higher self in a certain extent. It's when you are really well connected, okay? Not artificially, okay? It's animal, it's magnetic. That's why for the tsunami in 2004, a lot of animals, they went to mountain and so on, because they were feeling the magnetism. Everyone is intuitive, okay? Naturally, it's built in, and then you can also work in it. That's why I propose all this series of exercise and techniques, because everybody can be. Okay, the goal is to be receptive, to be attentive, sensitive, okay, and for so practicing daily meditation, daily mindfulness, okay, key 21, 22, and also operationally, we can meditate. I'm meditating now. I'm doing mindfulness now because I'm aware about the sound of my voice, the way I'm talking, and so on. I hear the bird, the water there. At this moment, the bird is synchronicity. I'm sensitive, welcoming this. You understand? So let's say you can also do that. Tap on your third eye during 3 minutes, and you do it 7 times a day during 21 days. It will activate. You can also put a mark on your forehead, like a rice here. This is a tradition, a piece of rice. Okay, grain of rice, sorry, or bindu, okay, for Hindu. And consciously will activate something because you will know that you have, for example, when you change your clothes and so on. You can also, to visualize like a triangle, and or if you can afford in 3D, tetrahedron. And you can imagine that is rotating from one side, clockwise and unclockwise, and unclockwise. And if you can afford to do Merkaba. It's like David star or Salomon star. It's in 3D. Well, anyway, there is different ways like this. You can also visualize a beam of light, speleo torch, for which everything you observe is part of your light, and it can be divine light with purity and so on. It's activating something inside, and it will activating something outwardly, because everything is inside. Well, invite you also to work on the decalcification, okay, with taking vitamin K1, K2, especially in green vegetable. You can also take raw cacao, lemons, garlic is very good, fluoride free, your lifestyle, as we saw in the different keys, sport, activity, good food, no drugs, no alcohol, I mean, less possible for alcohol, of course, and accept that it's like tide, it's come, it goes, it comes, it's go, okay, it's natural process, it's fine, okay. Intuition can leave you for a couple of days to rest a bit, to go to holiday. It's fine. Don't be upset because of that. Okay. State of mind insist and a discipline, and to reconnect to the higher self and thereby to the unity within. Okay, through nature, through everything. Well, I hope it will help you to shape the master key of consciousness, of love, or whatever you want. As you know, all roads lead to Rome and to the Dome. Thank you for your attention, and see you very soon.